I am, you are, we are. Reclining, relaxed at table, shocked that he should be able to pour water on my feet, protesting until our eyes meet, and even then insistent that he go the full distance and wash all of me clean. Not able to even glean the slightest idea, the possibility, the clear meaning behind his action, understandably masked by my need for satisfaction. For what I desire, and not the fire he was trying to instill within me. For what I need, I want, I feel, I see. He broke the bread, he poured the wine, I ate, I drank, greedy for this new covenant. I am, you are, we are, furtive. Flickering torches light the dark as I place my mark, my traitor's kiss upon his head. My lips utter not a sound, the silver now scattered on the ground. Not a word I utter in his defence, while Peter's sword stutters as Jesus takes offence at such unnecessary violence. Too easy to take the bribe, too easy to take their side, the easy way out, the ones who shout the loudest, who make out they know best. Too easy to keep silence. Let the world's offences pass me by, turn a blind eye again. I am, you are, we are, washing hands as if water could wash away the guilt of what I do and say, as if my questions to the King of Kings could mean anything in the face of purity, as if my doubts could stand in front of his surety, his few words of truth, revealing all the lies my life's concealing. As the crowd's peer pressure forces my words of a lesser truth, my denials and my demands for proof, as if faith were not enough. Instead, I opt for the rough justice of another betrayal that I cannot wash away, as I fail to say what I should say. I am, you are, we are, weeping as the cock crows, as my guilt grows with each denial, evading truth at every trial. Self-preservation the force that drives me, prevarication the thought that guides me. Instead of speaking out for him, of reaching out to him, of standing up for him, of being part of him. One body, he said, and even as I begged indifference, they led him away, crucified by love more than thrice denied. And each time they ask, if inconvenient, I avoid the issues, yet again misuse the trust he placed in me. I am, you are, we are, wielding whip, flailing flesh from skin as I jeer and mock the heavenly King. And yes, I might deny that such as this could ever be my horrific action. But it's my inaction that allows the whip to crack, my satisfaction, my apathy, my lack of solidarity with a king who came to love the poor, heal the sick, and open doors to pray and work and love and sing, to reconcile everything to him. I am, you are, we are, driving nails ever deeper into feet and hands. I want to deny this, can't understand how my guilt could be this deep, cannot comprehend, would weep if this could be me, but, you see, it is. I am, you are, we are, guilty as sin, guilty in this crucifixion, this awful scene, this sin addiction. As if I too drove the nails, as if I too wielded flails, as if I too made traitors kiss and washed my hands of even this. Denial then. Today not once or thrice, but time again I fail him, my one and only heavenly King. I weep, tears flow, I cannot stand the thought that I, though loving him, could inflict such pain, and yet I have time and time and time again. I am, you are, we are, sitting here, casting lots, tossing dice, carving up the spoils of my Saviour's sacrifice, his garment torn in two, believing love can be divided amongst me and you. A healing here, a prayer there, as if there's something I achieve, as if somehow I wield the power that was never mine to give. As if somehow I command, I can choose who should win, who should lose, who deserves his touch, who expects too much, as if, like the soldier's dice, I can ignore the love of Christ. A love for all, irrespective of my perspective, demanding no religious deference, a love for all with no preference. And still I cast the dice, divide the spoils, ignore the blood that slowly soils the earth beneath the cross and cleanses all the world of sin and loss. I am. You are. We are. Standing here, sitting, kneeling, humbled by my sin, his body broken, blood like spilt wine flowing, cleansing every part, cleaner than any water, deeper than my heart, cleansed by love, made whole as if the taint of sin had never touched my aching soul. By love, for love, to love, in God by Christ. That was his sacrifice, and mine? What can I give but love? What can I offer God above? It is but nothing, all my loving, for others, for him, but it's all he asks, my offering. I am, you are, we are guilty, loved, forgiven. I am, you are, we are. Fighting the dark, clutching cloth-wrapped spice, pungent aroma, stinging tear-stained eyes as I stumble over uneven path, lantern grasped, casting eerie shapes, swaying with each step I take. My soul is darker than the night, I am all cried out, have no fight left in me, can no longer shout my bitter enmity, have no tears left, my heart, my soul, my life bereft. It is done, he cried, it is finished. He died, and now I come, my grief undiminished by that one day, the Sabbath rest. I hurry to the tomb lest others come first, my grief forcing selfish thought to be the thief that sought to be the special one, make this time my own. But no, I cry out, how could this be? How could God do this to me? The stone is gone. He is not there, and I run, spices scattered to the air. This is not my time, this I must share. I am, you are, we are, huddled in a room, door locked, my master in a tomb. My hopes had been so high for him, even the sky was not the limit. He healed and taught, and I would have fought to make him king, and now nothing. Death had ground my hopes to dust, and now I'm just scared and lost, thinking only of myself and not the cost he paid upon the cross. And then she came. The favoured Magdalene, the one with 7 demons cast out by him, rushing out of breath. No coward she, not cowering, afraid of death, not like me. Alone she'd hurried to the tomb and found him gone. I hardly hoped. Could it be the promise made, the things he'd said, my Lord now raised up from the dead? I rushed outside, all thoughts of danger brushed aside. I saw. My eyes were opened, and I knew that all of this was not just for the few. No longer could I claim him my own. The world was changed by an empty tomb. I am, you are, we are. staying, clinging to the space, despite the emptiness. Not knowing, not willing to believe, not facing facts, too absorbed in feelings to think or act. Not willing to hear what the others say, believing only what I see today. My unbelief, despite all he said, and no relief even from the vision where his dead body had laid. Angels, maybe, perhaps, but all I see are the empty wraps that once treasured his body. One word was all it took. One word and one look. He called me by name, and my life began again. I am, you are, we are. It seemed strange as we walked. He was oddly familiar as we talked and talked. All my questions, my conjecture, answered with verses and quotes from Scripture, his knowledge astounding as we kept sounding him out, trying to make sense of how it turned out. Odd that you see what you want to see, and he, well, he would have walked on, but I said, "Stay, have supper, the day is done." And he stayed. A blessing he spoke, took the bread, which he broke. How blind could I be, trying to analyse all that we'd seen and done, almost missed amongst us God's risen Son. I am, you are, we are, missing from that room. Missing as he walked from tomb through door locked inside, showing them his hands, his side, the wounds that left him dead. Missing as he said, "Peace be with you." I had no peace. How could he let me miss this meeting? Why me? Had my friends contrived the greeting, this time they hoped for but had never been, this appearance they'd never seen, their experience, not mine? Was this some story to assuage their grief, to somehow create a new belief, a new following, a new passion to replace what we'd lost, somehow to cash in on the loss at the cross? But something inside craved the belief, the need to know, to expunge the grief, to bring hope for me. But I needed to know, I needed to see. He knew of my doubts, oh, he knew. And in time he came to me too, offered hands, wounds raw, invited my touch, my hands to explore the marks of the dead. "Come, place your hands in my side, in my hands," he said. It was all I needed. And though I'd pleaded the physical proof, his words were enough for me to know truth. I am, you are, we are, on a boat, on a lake, without direction, seeking to take up my old life again, post-resurrection, failing to see what he'd set out to gain, throwing my nets the wrong side of the lake time and again, failing to take the time to listen to him, distant and dim in the mists of the shore, unrecognizable until once more he calls out again, and I call his name. He draws me to shore, breaks bread one more time, and in simple communion my faith is restored. I am, you are, we are. Asked again, "Do you love me?" And fail to see it is not about me, he asks, not my feelings, my emotions, but what he tasks me with. 3 times the call to match my denial, my fall from grace, my inability to stand up for him in the face of opposition. Feed my lambs, tend my flock, feed my sheep, thrice tasked to reach deep into the faith he knows I hold, yet I doubt too often in the cold light of reality. And yet the simplicity of "Do you love me?" unwraps the complexity of a faith which rules my life, which guards my life, which saves my life, and charges me to love not just him, but all the world within this life he's placed me in. And his love pervades my every part, my body, soul, my mind, my heart. This is my risen Lord. I am, you are, we are, loved, forgiven, and restored.